Right, okay then, so we're here before the kick-off with...
Shane.
Elliot.
Okay, so what's the score going to be and who's the goal scorers?
It's going to be 3-1 and St Maximan's going to score first.
Yeah, who else?
Chris Wood, maybe, hopefully.
Yeah.
And Jacob Murphy, I think he's going to start as well. So
4-0. John Joe Shelby, every goal.
Yeah. How far can Newcastle go in this tournament?
all the way, hopefully. I think
way.
it's going to be a target, I think, because I think Eddie's pretty zoned in with the fans that we want to win something, so hopefully all the way,
Yeah. I agree.
Are you expecting a full strength lineup, half a lineup? We're playing Chelsea at the week. What would you do?
Half, I think.
Half,
yeah. Palace have pretty abysmal away form, so should be all right with a half-strength team now.
Yeah, no Bruno.
Yeah. Rest Bruno, yeah. In terms of Newcastle, they've not really treated this competition very serious in recent years. Are you expecting this to be a big thing that Eddie Howe takes serious, or because of the league form, are you expecting them to kind of prioritise that?
I think it's hard. I think tonight we'll know. The lineup will tell us tonight what it's going to be. I personally think that they'll give it a go in this competition, just because I think there was a thing I saw at the training ground where it said we haven't won a trophy in 67 years. So, if that's the message, surely this is going to be something they push for this year.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I just agree.
Okay, if we do get through, hypothetically, is there a team you'd like to play?
Someone really bad.
Yeah, just an easy draw, yeah?
Easy route.
I agree, Man United.
Oh, yeah, Man U, yeah. So, hypothetical again then, if you got offered to win this trophy, or if it was a guaranteed top 6 finish, what would you pick?
This trophy, because it gets you in Europe anyway.
Yeah. Are you expecting Newcastle to continue their form and go into Europe?
I hope we can push for top 4.
Top 4?
Yeah. With the current form. We let the least goals in the league, and we're like a quarter of the way through the season, so...
Yeah.
If you don't have that goal, then what are we doing here?
Yeah, and the World Cup is coming up, by the way, so it's a good thing and a bad thing for Newcastle. One of the good things is it means we're close at the transfer window. The owners, January transfer window, they see the league position now. Are you expecting them to maybe loosen the purse strings a little bit more and kind of go for the top 4?
I don't think they need to loosen them more. They've done well so far. I think if we continue doing how we've done it already, then we're in a good place. The good thing for us in the World Cup is that Eddie Howe's got so many players playing better than they already are that we actually don't have that many people going to the World Cup. So it's good for us. Like, they're going to have more time together to learn, to learn how he wants them to play. So I think we're in a good position. Yeah,
we've got 3 players that are about to play in the World Cup. We'll find out tomorrow. Could be Wilson. Could be it should be Wilson.
Yeah, should be Wilson.
Would you call him up?
Yeah,
Do you think
100%.
Southgate will as well?
Probably not. He'll probably call up another 2 defenders instead. It's like
Maguire, yeah.
Yeah, probably 7 of them. Yeah.
And what about Trippier and Pope? Obviously, I would imagine you're expecting Trippier. What about Pope? Are you expecting him to get any minutes?
No.
What about Wilson? Are you expecting him to get minutes if he goes?
No.
In terms of the World Cup, how far can England go, do you think? I'll ask you both for this one.
Maybe beyond the groups. I don't even know. I'm not optimistic this year. I'm not.
Is that because of the recent form?
Yes.
Yeah.
Partially Southgate.
Yeah.
You're not a fan of Southgate?
No.
He has just getting rid of the final and stuff now.
Boring though. Look at him.
Easy,
Just look at him. Yeah, exactly. Easy run.
Yeah. And how far are you expecting England to get?
I think we'll definitely get to the knockout stages because the group's pretty poor. But it's I don't expect us to get much. As soon as we meet anyone half decent, we're going to go out. Yeah. I think. We'll even like the final, we'll score first, then we'll just defend for 89 minutes, and then we'll lose.
In terms of the Winter World Cup, fan of it? Not a fan of it?
I mean, I always thought it would be good for England because it's mid-season for us, and we're used to playing at this time, and rather than being burnt out at the end of the season. But you've seen so many people getting injured that maybe it's not a true World Cup of the best players in the world playing together, which is obviously a little bit different. So. Yeah.
In terms of for the local economy as well, normally it would be beers, summer, all this sort of stuff, a lot of spending. With it being winter, does this mean you're going to spend less and go out less, do you think, or more? I
mean, I'll definitely still be there. So, yeah, I mean, personally, I think it will be less than it is in the summer when it's hot. People are out all day, aren't they? Whereas now I think people will be out for the game rather than all day. So.
In terms of the World Cup, where it's at, have you got any thoughts on that as well? Being a
either
Newcastle fan, it's a contentious maybe issue.
Yeah, no thoughts either way. People live their lives how they live their lives, and I can't make comment on that really.
And who's your second team going into the World Cup? Is it Brazil or?
I think everybody likes Brazil, don't they? And now we've got Bruno, you kind of have to have Brazil. I mean, definitely Brazil if they called up Jonathan, but yeah, Brazil probably.
Right, so we're here. Had a big kick-off with
Calvin.
Yeah, and what are you expecting the score to be, and who's going to be the goal scorers?
I think it'll be a tough one. Probably 2-1. I would go. I've just seen the team. Chris Wood and St Maximum.
Yeah.
And then I haven't seen Palace's team yet, so don't know who'll score for them.
But you expect we're to beat them?
Oh, I think we'll beat them. Yeah.
How far can Newcastle go in this tournament, in your opinion?
It's one of them. I half expect, like every game, I think, surely something will happen. We'll not win this one, but we keep winning them, so why not? Yeah. Let's look at semi-finals, why not? Over 2 legs, could beat anybody.
We've got Chelsea at the weekend. What would you have done personally? Would you have put half a strength team out, a full strength team here, and what would you have done?
I would have done what I think he's done, went a bit half and half.
Yeah.
The bench is very strong, but then the start 11's also. I mean, Lascelles is a bit thick for me, but Burn Target on the left-hand side, solid. Maximum, Chris Wood should be happy, played at the weekend, scored at the weekend. He should be coming into this with form, fancying himself.
Do you think the fact that we're doing so well in the league might have maybe weakened his squad tonight, sort of thing, because he's putting more emphasis on the league?
Yeah, but I think it's also, you've got to do the squad rotation. I think the only thing that surprised me, I thought Karius might have been in instead of Nick Pope, but I'm pleased Nick Pope is being class.
Yeah.
Obviously best defence in the league.
Yeah. If we go through, hypothetically, is there anyone you'd like to see we're playing?
I prefer the bigger teams earlier on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he's not
High
City.
risk.
Maybe he's not City. But I wouldn't mind I would take anyone at home.
Yeah. And hypothetically, would you rather win the cup or a top 6 guaranteed finish?
Win the cup, because it's been that long.
Yeah.
Win the cup. You get Europe off the back of it.
Are you expecting, obviously with the World Cup coming up as well, it means we're closer to a transfer window. Are you expecting, given the position, that the club might spend a little bit more than they thought they would beforehand because we're close to Europe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not on quantity, but maybe he's a bit more quality. I think we were looking at someone like Madison or something like that. I do think we'll sign that person, but I think it was going to be Madison, nothing else. Whereas I think now it could be Madison, maybe...
Madison, your number one that you'd like to see fetch in?
Yeah. I think so, realistically. Out of people we've been linked with, it would be Madison.
Who drops out of the starting 11 for you for Madison? Because he can obviously play on the wing, he can play in midfield.
That's a tough one, but I think it would have to be Longstaff or Willock.
Yep.
But I mean, obviously Shelby's come back in that midfield position now. It's it's exciting. It's class. It's exciting. I still don't believe it.
Yeah. And where do you expect Newcastle to finish at the end of the season?
I would snap your hand off now for top 6, top 7.
Yeah, you want top 6. Where do you think they'll finish?
Where do I think we'll finish?
Where's your head?
Like I said at the start, I've expected to start dropping off by now. The World Cup, people keep saying, is a big one, and it is because you've got so much time off. But I think the squad are together now. There's a nice togetherness in that.
Yeah.
So.
And then going on to the World Cup questions then. So, and the World Cup's coming up. How far do you expect England to go? We're hitting bad form with Gareth Southgate at the minute. He's done well in the last tournament. Got to a final. Where are you expecting?
I think it's France in the quarterfinals. I think if it goes to plan, obviously the way like the strong teams winning the games, I think that's probably where we bow out.
Yeah.
I don't think we're not good enough to go. I mean, I've been proven wrong in the past, but I don't think we're good enough to, unfortunately.
Yeah. And obviously we've got 3 potentials that could get called up tomorrow. We've got Byrne, we've got Trippier, and we've got Wilson. Trippier, probably almost guaranteed that he's going to get minutes. What are your thoughts on the other 2? Are you expecting them to play at all?
I think obviously Pope will be in there. Trippier, for me, is a definite because you can play left back as well. I think Wilson goes. Think you would probably take someone younger than Dan Burn, unfortunately.
You don't think you'll go at all?
No, which is a shame because I think personally I would be taking him. I don't know whether that's biased, but I think he's better than Mings. I think he's had better seasons than Maguire and stuff like that so far.
Yeah. He doesn't seem to go for players on form though.
No, definitely not.
Maguire.
Especially just because Burns never been in it and he's the age he is. I don't think someone like Ryan Sessegnon, who's been playing all right, will get in because he's 22 ahead of him.
Overall, the World Cup for a Newcastle fan, does it come at a good or a bad time? Obviously, we've got Isaac and stuff out injured. Means we're closer to our transfer window. But the negative is it's the momentum.
Yeah, I think it'll. But like I said, I think we've got a togetherness in the squad where I hope it doesn't. I don't think it'll hamper the momentum. So I think it's coming in the all right time, to be fair. Because I don't think other teams will. I think they'll struggle more with it. Whereas I think we'll be all right with it.
Yeah. In terms of second teams in the World Cup, is it Brazil or is it another team?
Got to be Brazil. To be fair, I know it would never happen, but Fabian Shaw lifting it would be nice as well. But I think it's got to be Bruno lifting that one.
Thoughts on a December Winter World Cup? Are you a fan, not a fan?
Not a fan.
No?
No. But now it's here, I don't hate the idea.
Yeah.
I'm on board with it now, but I don't like the idea of it.
Yeah. For a local economy sort of question, obviously normally people are out, pints, sunshine. Are you likely to go out and spend less or more or what?
Spend probably exactly the same as I would in the summer. I just ended up.
Yeah. And what's your thoughts on the World Cup where it's at as well?
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and talk about human rights. I'm not going to sit here and talk about all of that. I think the best thing to do as a Newcastle fan is to stay away from what goes on behind the scenes.
It's probably more relevant being a Newcastle fan than anywhere else because of the ownership as well.
Yeah.
Do you think Newcastle fans are conflicted at all? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think they'll get behind it or negative, or what do you think?
I think it's one of those things. It's happening, so you've got to deal with it. It's like watching the boxing when it's in Saudi Arabia. It's like watching anything else that's put on in any of these countries. I mean, I don't agree with what they're doing, but it happens, doesn't it? It's their way of thinking. So,
have you ever been to a World Cup, and would this put you off if you were going to go this year of where it is?
No, I would have went. I think I've never been to one. It's something I will be doing. But no, I went to the England-Germany game in the Euros. Does that count? Yeah, I went to that. But yeah, it doesn't put me off. I would go.
Okay, so we're here ahead of the big kickoff with
Connor?
Connor, and what are you expecting the score to be, and who's the goal scorers? You've seen the team now.
Yeah, I'd take a scrappy 1-0 win, to be fair, just progress.
Goal scorer?
I don't know, I fancy a sneaky Jacob Murphy, you know. Yeah, don't know why, just something.
He's due one.
Yeah, I mean, he's done well. The last time he played against Villa, he could come on and done well, and then he played well.
What have you
against
thought of
Tottenham
his
as well.
performances in general?
Solid.
Yeah.
He looks like he's got a point to prove all season. He looks like he's one of those that's got a shirt on. He knows he's fighting for his life at this club as well. I think every player's been like that as well. So,
do you think he's got a future at the club?
Why not?
Yeah.
As long as they're all fighting for that badge and fighting for the shirt, then why should they not have a future at the club? So.
And going back to today then, so the cup, how far do you think Newcastle can go this year?
Round by round.
Yeah.
Round by round. Beat Palace, and then who knows? Look at what happened to Brentford last night. They got beat off Gillingham, so it's the beauty of the cup. Anything's possible. So
we've got Chelsea in the Premier League next. Now the league position is probably higher than anyone thought it would be. Do you think more emphasis should be on the cup, or do you think that we should be now focusing on trying to get into Europe?
I don't think Europe was the goal at this season anyway. But if we're there, why not try and hold it? Were we expecting really winning a cup? Don't know. Do we really know any of it? Probably not. But see what happens tonight, and then if we get beat tonight, then all emphasis will be on Chelsea. But then if we go out and we do okay tonight, I think we've seen the team sheeting, so Eddie Howe's still keeping one eye on Chelsea at the weekend as well.
What would you have done? Would you have put a weekend squad tonight and in the hope of beating Chelsea, or would you have done it the other way around?
Probably done what Howe's done tonight. Bring a few changes in. He's left options on the bench as well, so it's not as if he's depleted the squad entirely by bringing loads of academy players in. He's given as good as he can get with still keeping one eye on Chelsea at the weekend. So
generally, then, do you think that there should be a big emphasis on winning the cup this year?
Each game as it comes.
Yeah.
I think that's the best answer we could give. Give each game as it comes.
If we do get through, is there anyone you would like to face in the next round in particular?
Bring them on. Bring them all on. Why not? Why not? Just bring them all on. Yeah. If you want to win it, we've got to beat Man City at some point, so bring them all on.
And hypothetically, if I was to offer you the cup now or a guaranteed top 6 finish, which one would you go for?
Top 6.
Top 6, yeah?
100% top 6.
Rather than a cup?
We've been that long without a cup. It's nothing we're not used to, but a top 6 European spots, chance to attract better players again in the summer, well, obviously the summer, then January again. Why not?
We've got the World Cup coming up, rather. Is it a good thing for Newcastle, or is it a bad thing? It stops the momentum, gives injured players time to come back, gets us closer to the transfer window.
It's also a scary thinking about what injuries we're going to have, though, isn't it? For example,
Callum Wilson,
if he's lucky enough to get picked, and Trippier, when he stretches his hamstring at the weekend, if he disappears with England, and picks up an injury, you're thinking, oh God, what's going to happen after that? But
it's always a concern when Trippier pulled up with his hamstring.
Straight away, you're thinking, oh no, not now, not how we've played. But we'll just take each game as it comes, and whatever happens. It's strap ourselves in and enjoy the roller coaster ride. It's good times back, man. It's good.
It is indeed. In terms of the World Cup, we mentioned that then. England, how far are you expecting England to go?
Last 16 probably. We should get out of the group stages comfortably, but I think we're plagued with so many injuries across the entire squad. It's if we can get to the last 16 and then go game by game and just see what we've got to play with and who we're up against, and whatever happens, innit?
We've obviously got Trippier almost guaranteed to start and all the rest of it. In terms of Wilson and Pope, are you expecting them to get any minutes or even get called up? It's not official until tomorrow.
Well, I think Pope should be starting anyway. I think he's a better all-round goalkeeper than Little Arms, but I don't know if that's just being biased, him being a Mackham or what, I don't know. But Wilson, whichever striker goes, they're always playing back up to Harry Kane. If you could sub him on and let him play off Harry Kane, maybe, I don't know how that would work, how somebody could filter him into a 4-4-2 or whatever like that, but he's another option off the bench if something's going wrong and we need to change the shape up, if the wingers aren't working the way we should, or the midfielders aren't attacking the way they should, there's another option off the bench there. I think it's nice to have this kind of headache with people playing well coming into the World Cup. So.
And you mentioned Nick Pope. Now, many Newcastle fans, including myself, thought that when he got called up a few weeks ago, that was going to be his audition. He did kind of let himself down a little bit. It wasn't his best performance. Do you think that massively hurt him going into the World Cup, or do you think it wouldn't have mattered? He wouldn't have gotten in.
I think any goalkeeper, truthfully, would struggle with Harry Maguire playing in front of them. Which, look at how poor Man United were playing with Maguire in the team, and then they've dropped him, and then they started to play well again, and he got back into the European squad, and they didn't do anything special. I think they won 1-0 in Europe. I think any keeper would struggle with certain defenders in front of them. So it just, truthfully, I think Nick Pope is a solid number one. I think. Yeah.
And Winter World Cup, you having it or not?
Nah, it's got to be some, man. Sun shining over here and drinks flowing and all. Like, why not?
What's your thoughts on where it's being held at?
No comment. No comment.
Is that because you're a Newcastle fan? It's a tricky thing for Newcastle.
No, it's just their rules are their rules. The rest of the world has moved on. They haven't, and that's all I'm going to say. I understand people's point of view, and I understand the Qataris. It is what it is, isn't it? But you either watch it or you don't. Yeah,
I mean, the whole Premier League and the world seemed to get its back up when Newcastle were taken over by Saudi owners and so on. Now obviously we're going to play a World Cup near there.
Yeah. How can we start slagging them off for owned by Saudi Arabia? So it is what it is, isn't it?
Second team in the World Cup, is it Brazil?
Yeah, got to be, hasn't it? Bruno's in the middle for the man. You've got us back, haven't you? Yeah. But have a little bit of a sweet spot for Holland with Botman in the squad and Switzerland with Shaw, and you've got to have a bit of sweet spot for everybody, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the only real benefit that this has for Newcastle is that fixtures were closer to a transfer window. Are you expecting, based on the club, overachieving for what they're kind of expecting maybe at the start of the season? Do you think they're going to spend a little bit more now, what they did, to try to guarantee Champions League or Europe?
I don't really think we need to be fair. You obviously need another, I think we need a bit more creative spark in midfield to go alongside.
Maddison? For you?
For me, yeah. I think they were wanting 60 million or something in the summer. You've got to be looking at that's gone up with how well he's played so far. But a creative midfielder to go alongside Bruno and just pick whoever else we've got to go. It's going to be somebody like Joe Linton. We'll just go with Maddison and Bruno alongside that. There's more creative spark. Plus whoever else we've got already there as well. And maybe another reserves winger or striker.
Any names?
Diaby's doing well, and for the Bayer Leverkusen he plays for.
We generally see whenever a target turns Newcastle down, a lot of fans get turned off on it, and when we go back in the next window, they're not a fan of it. What for you?
Nah, he's elite. He's ripping Germany up. He's supposedly the next Jadon Sancho. I mean, I don't know how that could turn out with him coming to us, because Sancho, when he's come to Man United, hasn't done very well, but who knows? Anyhow, anything's possible, isn't it?
Okay then, so we're here with
Stu.
Stu,
Charlie.
what do you make of the match?
Tense.
Yeah.
Very, very tense. Very nervy. Hard to break down. But I think, as you've seen when Trippier came on, Almiron, everyone, the main guys changed the dynamic of the game.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was flowing really well.
How do you analyse it?
I'm just saying, Gareth Southgate needs to bring Nick Pope to the World Cup. Just after that performance there, and just the way he plays in general is just amazing. Yeah,
that brings us on perfectly to the next question then. So Nick Pope for the World Cup. He's probably not going to play number two. We know Southgate always likes the number one as regulars. Do you think he's guaranteed number two, and do you think he's probably likely to come on for pens after that?
I would say so, yes. I would say gradually, as you can see, he's grown and grown. each time, and the character, the confidence to keep the ball at his feet. He brings the ball down well, keeps a cool head, and he's another leader. Like we've got a leader in Trippier. Every guy keeps feeding off each other, and they're getting constant sort of confidence with it.
Yeah.
And I find it quite well.
I think having more internationals from our team will help each other, because obviously we're used to playing with each other. So we'll have the likes of Pope and Trippier playing. I think we're going to connect really well.
Yeah, yeah. How far can Newcastle go? We've just seen some giant killings here. We've seen Tottenham get knocked out, Chelsea got knocked out, Arsenal got knocked out. How far can Newcastle go?
The obvious answer would be I'd like to say all the way, but it's an unpredictable thing. That's what's great about the Cup, you just don't know. I would like to say we'd sort of, get the next sort of 2 rounds out of the way.
Yeah.
I would like to see a nice sort of steady flow, but then again it impacts on the league as well, so I'm a bit reserved about
Yeah,
it.
I'll fetch onto that in a second.
I think we'll probably get the semi-finals spot. I really think we're going to push for this, especially with Eddie Howe saying that we're going to push for it. So
Yeah. He has got a preference on who you want in the next round. Just not Man City, I'd imagine.
Just not Man City. I'm not sure what the Derby result was with Liverpool. I would like to take Derby.
0-0, but I don't. It's still going on.
Yeah, I would take Derby or something like that. But then again, you know what I mean, like you say, there's giant killings gone on, and where we are now in the league, every team doesn't fear we, but they don't know what to expect from we as well. So
Yeah.
it's,
Is there a team? Is there a team in particular you like? Easy team or hard team or Premier League?
I'll stay Derby.
Derby, yeah.
I'll take Derby.
I'll take Derby as well.
Yeah, yeah. How much should Newcastle be prioritising this? Obviously, Newcastle's in a fantastic position, this unexpected position. How much prioritising should they be given the cup?
I think everything, because I think everything counts. I think the club with the new owners, the ambition. I think why just stop in the league? They want to, kind of familiarise themselves. And you've seen that many random teams in sort of cup in the past. Unexpected teams, smaller teams. We aren't a small team, and it would just be nice to see the glory that we had once before, Wembley.
Yeah, 100%.
I just think we need to really push for this, to give her a confidence boost, because we haven't won a trophy in so long, and this is probably the best chance of making a good run this year. So.
If it come down to winning a trophy or top 6, guaranteed top 6, which one are you going for?
I'll take top 6.
Top 6, yeah?
Top 6.
Top 6.
Man of the match. Who's your man of the match?
Well, I'll probably have to go Lascelles. I think
Lascelles,
he was
yeah.
quite strong at the back, and I think he made quite a lot of effort with running on the ball and scaring people off the ball, and he was quite commanding at the back.
Yeah, he gets a lot of grief of a certain section of Newcastle fans. Is that warranted, do you think, or not?
Yes and no, based on it's a hard team to get into at the minute, and I think, for the time that he has had, he hasn't really had the chance to kind of show, look, I'm still here, this is what I can do. Yeah. Overall, Nick Pope, I'd like to say man of the match for his, what he's done, but Lascelles for the whole, the game and involvement, I'd say.
Yeah.
I'll probably say Nick Pope, but outfield player, I'll probably say Dan Burn. I think he really showed his qualities, and hopefully he should be chosen for the England squad.
Yeah, are you expecting him to get called up?
I mean, it's a no-brainer. Southgate's got to do it. He's a left back and a centre back. So.
Yeah. Speaking of England, how far can they go in the World Cup?
Well, how long's a piece of string? That's the thing. I would like to say bounce off the success from last time. I don't know if we'll go as far. I don't think we've got the spark.
Okay then, so we're here with
Connor, Cole.
What do you make of the game?
That was absolutely
Yeah.
awful, shocking for the tune. Home game as well. Should have been a 3-pointer, easily.
Should he have gone with a stronger team or something like that? Is that what
Should
you're
have.
thinking?
Extra few players, that's it.
We shouldn't have started St Maximin, mate.
No.
You're not a fan of St Maximin?
I'm a fan, but he loses the ball too much.
He's got to get minutes though. This is probably the time
That's
to
it.
better.
Come back from an injury, he's a bit rusty.
Yeah.
Should have subbed him. Get him on, take him off, get the boys on, you know what I mean?
Does he get in from now on ahead of Miguel Almiron or what?
Nah. Meggy, Bruno, all the way.
Yeah.
Can't believe Bruno spoofed the pen though.
Who's your man of the match?
Man of the match. I know that I like Longstaff at the minute.
Yeah.
Smashing it, getting stuck in. That's what we need.
He's turned round completely fun because he's written up by a lot of
complete different player now.
Elliot Anderson as well, he's a little belt.
What did you think of his performance today?
Good, cracking.
Yeah.
Get stuck in there to get in, not scared.
Yeah, well, we're coming up to a transfer window. Would you like to see him get loaned out, or do you think
keep him?
Yeah?
Longstaff needs to stay.
Yeah. Will Elliot get minutes, do you think, if he stays?
Nah.
So would you not loan him out?
I would like to say we'll keep him, but he's a bit like Mansfield. He's a bit too greedy on the ball.
Yeah.
He's trying to fucking prove a point and shine.
Yeah.
But it's not about that. It's about team player, score a goal, win, victory. That's how we want.
The World Cup, it's probably coming at a bad time. We're losing all this momentum and stuff, but it's probably coming at a bad time. We're getting injuries and we're closer to the January window. Who do you want to see be fetching in the window?
None. Callum
None?
Wilson's
None at
injured.
all?
Callum Wilson's injured.
Are you listening to the questions? He's asking who do you want to come in.
Oh, who do we want to come in?
I don't think
Yeah.
one or two players.
One or
that's
two
it.
players.
Who do you want, Audi? 1 or 2? Who are you thinking?
Who's that player from Bayer Leverkusen?
Diaby.
Aye, him.
Aye.
Aye, get him in.
They want too many because I take our.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Everyone else says Madison. You know?
No.
No?
Nah.
Definitely not.
We've got a strong team, man. We've got a strong team.
What's our weakest position? What's the position that you'd improve on if you had to?
Wings.
Wings, yeah?
Aye, definitely.
So that's what about Diaby.
Aye.
Get Diaby in.
Wingers.
That's it.
Yeah?
Got Miggy, smashing. Marksman's a bit too greedy for me. Like.
Yeah. How far is England going to get in the World Cup?
Third round.
Semis?
Third round.
Yeah. Are you expecting any of our players to get minutes?
Nah.
Trippier, yeah.
Wilson,
Other than
Wilson's
Trippier.
not on the team,
Is he not on? I thought he got on.
No,
Fan
Wilson
foot
didn't
for
get
that.
picked.
Nah, Trippier, I'll get a few minutes, aye, 100%.
What's your thoughts on where the World Cup is?
Have you seen the tents?
They're dying. They're dying, man.
Yeah.
Too hot.
What's your second team going into the World Cup? Is it Brazil?
Oh.
Aye, Brazil definitely. For Bruno.
Aye, for will be.
Yeah.
Aye, Bruno.
Yeah. He's ever been to a World Cup?
Never.